I stood across the street, leaning against a traffic light pole, waiting for an early guest for the gala tonight. In front of me was the entrance to the cultural center. Clean stone pavement, flags hanging straight, the event sign set up next to the glass doors. Everything was normal. People arrived on time. They walked where they were supposed to. The cops stood at their posts. Evelyn Brooks came from the direction of the parking lot. She walked slow, her back straight, her left hand holding a purse, her right hand holding an invitation. Dark coat, flat shoes, gray hair combed neat. She didn't look around, just walked toward the door like the others. Officer Ryan Cole shifted to his left, blocking the entrance. The distance was just enough so they didn't touch, but enough to make her stop. Evelyn Brooks stopped. She held the envelope up to her chest. "I'm here for the gala." Cole glanced over her, didn't take the envelope. He tilted his head toward the event sign behind him. His voice flat. "This entrance is for invited guests. We're not taking walk-ins here." Evelyn Brooks didn't move her hand. The envelope was still there. "This is my invitation." Cole swatted it with the back of his hand. The envelope fell to the stone, slid a few inches, and stopped right at the edge of the red carpet. Nobody picked it up. I saw a few people stop. One person took out their phone. Another stepped to the side to get a better look. Cole keyed his radio, speaking loud enough for others to hear. "Got an individual blocking the entrance. Might not be with the event." Evelyn Brooks bent down to pick up the envelope. She stood straight again, holding it up one more time. Her face didn't change. "Please, take a look." Cole didn't look. He pointed down the street. This kind of party isn't a soup kitchen. An older woman in the crowd came to a complete stop. I saw her look at the event sign, then at Evelyn Brooks. Nobody said anything. Officer Megan Hale was standing just behind Cole and to the side. She looked down at the pavement, then up at the envelope in Evelyn Brooks's hand. She didn't move forward. Evelyn Brooks didn't move. She stood right there in front of the entrance, not pushing forward, not backing away. Cole Seahid reached into his pocket and took out a pair of rubber gloves. He pulled them on slowly, one finger at a time, right in front of her. Nobody else was being searched. "Step to the side so I can do my job. Please. Just let me get to my place." Her voice was low and even, no louder than the cars passing behind her. Cole leaned over to his colleague, not bothering to lower his voice. "Seems like she doesn't understand. Maybe she's confused." Evelyn Brooks opened her purse. She set it down on the pavement and unzipped it. Inside was a volunteer card, a sponsor's pin, and a name tag with her full name printed on it. She placed each item on top of the bag, one by one, without rushing. Cole didn't look down. He just stared straight ahead, his eyes level with hers. "Hurry it up." Someone in the crowd spoke quietly, just loud enough for a few others to hear. "I think I saw her name on the program." Cole turned to her and held up his hand. "You step back. If you don't, you'll be detained right along with her." The other woman went quiet. The phone in her hand was still on. Evelyn Brooks closed her purse, stood straight. She looked at the event sign, then back at Cole. "I was invited. I have a seat." Cole took half a step forward. The space between them closed. "You're obstructing." I heard a vibration from her purse. Once, then again. She didn't reach for it. Cole reached a hand behind his back, touching his handcuffs. He didn't take them out. "Turn around." Evelyn Brooks looked down at her own hands for a second, then looked straight ahead. She did not turn around. Cole raised his voice. "You are not part of this event." I saw a few more people stop completely. More phones went up. A car slowed down, then drove on. Evelyn Brooks didn't move. The invitation was back in her hand. The edge of the paper straight. I'm right where I need to be. Cole reached out and touched his cuffs again. Didn't click them. Just rested his hand there. I stood still, watching the blocked entrance. Inside, the lights were on. The schedule on the wall clearly showed it wasn't time to start yet. Nothing had crossed the line yet, but the entrance wasn't open anymore. I was still across the street. The line of people behind Evelyn Brooks slowed. No one tried to pass her. No one left. The entrance was held in limbo. Not open, but not fully closed either. Officer Ryan Cole shifted half a step forward. The distance between him and Evelyn Brooks shrank. His gloved hand rested on his hip, right next to the cuffs. No further movement. Officer Megan Hale stood slightly behind him, her eyes fixed on the ground. She shifted her weight from one foot to the other, then stood still. Evelyn Brooks said nothing more. She stood in the same spot. Her purse sat neatly at her feet. The invitation was in her hand. The edge of the paper straight. Cole leaned his head toward his radio. The radio clicked on. Short and clear. Confirmed. Still uncooperative. No questions. No request for more information. Just a label being applied. A man came out of the parking lot, saw the scene at the entrance, and stopped. He looked at the event schedule, at Evelyn Brooks, then at the two officers. He took a step back and pulled out his phone. Cole bent down slightly, pulling his gloves tighter at the wrist. His eyes scanned the items on top of the purse, but he didn't lower his gaze enough to read anything. You need to step aside. Evelyn Brooks placed the envelope on top of her purse. She held her hands in front of her, not crossed, not hanging loose. She stood still. Cole rolled his wrist, touching the cuffs. This time, the light clink of metal against his belt was audible. A woman in the crowd took half a step forward, then stopped. No one followed. No one spoke up. Officer Megan Hale glanced up at Evelyn Brooks's face, then over at Cole. She opened her mouth, but stopped. No sound came out. Cole took another step forward. The entrance was almost completely blocked now. The glass door behind them reflected the image of all three, standing in a line. Go back. Evelyn Brooks looked down at the stone floor for a beat. Then she looked up. She didn't turn back. Cole reached behind his back and unclipped his cuffs. Didn't close them. Just held them in his hand. I heard the vibration from the purse again. Longer this time. Evelyn Brooks didn't look down. Didn't open her bag. Cole leaned over and spoke to his partner, loud enough for those nearby to hear. She's not aware of the situation. Officer Megan Hale took a breath in, then let it out. She put her hand on her radio, but didn't press the button. A young man standing near me whispered to the person next to him. Neither of them took their eyes off the scene at the entrance. Cole raised his hand, pointing to the edge of the sidewalk. Move out of this area. Evelyn Brooks shook her head very slightly. Just once. No words. Cole stepped forward. The space between them disappeared. He brought the cuffs out in front of him. Turn around. This time, no one said anything else. No one intervened. No one laughed. Evelyn Brooks looked straight ahead, then slowly turned around. No resistance. No rush. Cole reached behind her back. The cuffs clicked shut. The sound of metal rang out. Short. Sharp. Distinct from any other noise. Someone in the crowd gasped. Another person covered their mouth. Phones were raised higher. Officer Megan Hale looked down at the cuffs, then up at Evelyn Brooks's face. She stood still. Cole adjusted the cuffs, didn't loosen them. Didn't tighten them, just straightened them. Come with me. Evelyn Brooks took a step. Then another. She walked slowly, steadily. Her purse was still on the stone floor, untouched. Cole led her toward the police car parked nearby. The back door was open. No struggle. No explanation. Evelyn Brooks got inside. Her back was straight. Her hands were behind her. The car door closed. The sound of the lock engaging. Final. I saw Officer Megan Hale bend down and pick up the purse. She placed it on a nearby bench. Didn't open it. Didn't check it. Cole turned back, facing the crowd. Break it up. No one left right away. The phones were still on. The screens were still pointed at the car. I looked at the schedule board hanging in the lobby through the glass doors. The time left before the event started was shorter now. At the end of the street, a black car slowed down, then came to a complete stop. No siren. No lights. It just stopped. I was still standing there. The entrance hadn't reopened. I was still standing in the same spot. The entrance hadn't reopened. The crowd didn't disperse. The phones were still aimed at the police car parked at the curb. At the end of the street, the black car was stopped. Then another one pulled up behind it. No sirens. No lights. The car doors opened. A man in a dark suit got out and walked quickly, not looking around. Behind him were two other men, earpieces in, who fanned out to create some space. Officer Ryan Cole turned his head. He looked at the cars, then at the crowd, then back at the car holding Evelyn Brooks. No one gave an order. No one said a word. But the dynamic of the scene shifted. Officer Megan Hale took half a step back. Her hand went to her radio. She keyed the mic once, then lowered it. She looked toward the back door of the squad car. The man in the suit walked straight toward them. The distance closed quickly. When he stopped in front of Officer Ryan Cole, the crowd went completely silent. I'm Daniel Brooks. No one asked him to repeat himself. No one asked for ID. The woman in that car is my mother. He didn't raise his voice. He made no gestures. But Officer Ryan Cole stood frozen. His hands dropped from his belt. He was no longer touching the cuffs. Officer Megan Hale moved quickly to the car door. She unlocked it. The door swung open. Evelyn Brooks stepped out. She stood up straight, not rubbing her wrists. She just looked around once, then looked Daniel Brooks in the face. He leaned in just slightly, enough for her to hear. Are you okay? Mom. She nodded, said nothing more. Daniel Brooks turned to Officer Ryan Cole. The distance between them hadn't changed. Did you check her invitation and her identification? Officer Ryan Cole opened his mouth, paused, then spoke curtly. I thought they might be fake. Daniel Brooks didn't step forward. He just looked at him. What was that based on? There was no immediate answer. Officer Ryan Cole looked down at the items still laid out on the nearby bench. The name, the ID, the medal, all clear. Officer Megan Hale handed the handcuff key back to Cole. She said nothing. Cole unlocked the cuffs. The movement was slow. When the metal clicked open, there were no cheers, no applause, just the sound of traffic fading in the distance. Daniel Brooks paused for a beat, then glanced at the radio on Officer Ryan Cole's shoulder. This entire exchange is on record. It wasn't a threat, just a statement of fact. Officer Megan Hale keyed her radio, reporting an internal code. Her voice was low, short, and emotionless. A superior officer appeared from one of the black cars. He didn't ask what happened. He just ordered them to secure the scene and collect the recording equipment. Officer Ryan Cole took the radio off his shoulder and placed it in the man's hand. No one had to ask him. He just did it. Daniel Brooks turned to the crowd. Thank you for staying. He didn't mention his authority. He didn't mention his position. A news van pulled up. The lights came on. A camera pointed toward Evelyn Brooks. She stood still, her hands clasped in front of her. My name is Evelyn Brooks, she said. I have lived in this city for more than half my life. No one interrupted. I came to attend an event. I had an invitation. I had identification. But today, none of that was looked at. She paused for a moment. I'm not saying this just for myself. Daniel Brooks stood beside her. Not interfering. I'm speaking for those who don't have someone standing next to them right now. Nobody clapped. Nobody interrupted. Officer Ryan Cole stood off to the side. Officer Megan Hale looked down at the stone floor, then glanced up. Real quick, Daniel Brooks turned back toward the main entrance. He spoke to the security guard in the lobby. The door was opened. The way was cleared. People started to move. But slowly, Evelyn Brooks walked in first. No one escorted her. Daniel Brooks followed a half step behind. I looked at the schedule. The event was about to start. The crowd started to break up. Phones were lowered. But no one was forgetting what they'd just seen. Officer Ryan Cole stood there for a long time. No one spoke to him. No yelling. No more cuffs. Just a long silence. I moved from my spot once the doors closed. There was only one thought. Crystal clear. In my mind. If Daniel Brooks hadn't shown up right then, where would Evelyn Brooks have gone? Who would have taken the cuffs off? Who would have opened the door? I didn't see any bad guy smiling. I didn't see any good guy win. Either. All I saw was a system that only stops when something bigger makes it stop. The question I'll leave you with is this. If someone big enough hadn't shown up that day, how would this story have ended? If you've ever witnessed a situation like that, did you stay? Or did you walk away? If you think this story is worth thinking more about, share it, so other people can see it too. And if you want to keep following stories about power, justice, and real-life moments like this, subscribe to the Black CEO Tales channel.